Friends, family, fans, welcome back to another episode of Back Nine Bets, baby. Episode 156, the Pebble Prince. We are at Pebble Beach, AT&T Pro Amateurs. Professionals playing with amateurs, Pro-Am. Boom, boom, boom. Learning new things right away. The first 20 seconds of the show. It's a Tuesday. It's 3 Eastern. It's Back Nine Bets time, people. Let's get into it. The show's always brought to you by DraftKings. Check them out. Use code FGD when signing up over there to help support your boy and Kenny and myself and the model maniac and whoever this guy is. Love the shades. Love the wig. We got to rock and roll. There's a need for change after the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Took a beating, a big beating. We went from being positive on the year to negatory. Problems. Scotty Scheffler let us down. No good. Rasmus Niergaard Peterson let us down. No good. It's okay. The Pebble Prince will save us this week. We're going over to Pebble Beach. Let's chat about some golf. Let's have a good time. Slap some comments through to me. I see Kevin in here already. Looking forward to a good show. My cuz, me too. Let's have a good one. Let's party. I don't have any banners for you guys, but I got bets. And I got DFS deep dives. And I got research for you. And I've got all the stuff you could wish for. So let's party. Let's talk some betting, some DFS at Pebble Beach. Let's get it underway. As always, we are sharing our screen. So if you are listening on audio, shout out to you. The best way to watch this show is to watch this show. The best way to listen to the show is to listen to the show. But the best way to consume the show is to watch it on YouTube. So go over to YouTube on Mayo Media. Check me out on Back Nine Bets every Tuesday, 3 Eastern on the live tab. It's always going to be over there. It's not going to be under the videos tab with Mayo's cool stuff or the fantasy golf journal. It's going to be just Back Nine Bets. So we'll be doing a giveaway halfway through the show. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. What's going on, Joe? And good afternoon to wherever I may find you. It is afternoon across the United States. So 2 Eastern is going to be afternoon for everybody. Check it out. All the tools you see here are part of the Model Maniac Patreon. We can dive into a couple boxes real quick. I didn't share that on the Fantasy Golf Degenerates show, so we're going to do that now. We're going to check some boxes. We're going to show you guys what the hell is cooking in the Model Maniac cheat sheets and Patreon as we go through this. So as we check out where we're going here, we want to make sure we're taking advantage of strokes gained easy scoring conditions, because easy scoring conditions are what we're going to experience at. Do I like it with my box outside the mainframe or inside the mainframe? Let's go outside the mainframe. By the way, use code PEBBLE26 for 50% off your first month. We're going to be checking boxes for easy scoring conditions. Easy scoring conditions mean the average score for each round is 1.5 under par or easier. Medium is half a stroke under par to 1.5 strokes under par. Hard is level par to half a stroke under par. And hellish is over par conditions. So as you can see, we're going to scoot over to the right-hand side of the Model Maniac tools and cheat sheets over here. Filter by easy scoring conditions. Obviously, Scotty Scheffler is going to show up numero uno. He is the GOAT and the best golfer in the world, one of the best golfers to grace this earth of ours. Shout out to him for a disastrous first-round leader situation where we lost 3 units on him last week. No good. No good. But I see there's 11-1 odds for him to win first-round leader again. We're not going to go there on POA. He has yet to win on POA. That's neither here nor there. Let's take a look at easy scoring conditions. Top 5 in easy scoring conditions. Scotty Scheffler, Tommy Fleetwood, Russell Henley, Rory McIlroy. All make a lot of sense. Gary Kigo, Daniel Berger, Colin Morikawa, Pearson Coody, Alex Noren, Ben Griffin. They all gain 1.2 strokes over the last 12 months on easy scoring conditions. Some of them have nice medium scoring conditions too. Couple guys to watch out for in case this course plays a little more difficult. Keep an eye out for the wind as well and the weather. It can change on a dime. So we've made a couple bets. Going to throw maybe a couple more in the Discord after we find out tee times, after we find out course rotations, after we really confirm what the weather is going to be getting up to. Because as we saw last week, everyone thought the weather was going to be crazy in the afternoon. We spoke about in the Model Maniac Discord. Not that big of a deal. We actually kind of loaded up a bit on the AM slate, and it turned out to be the easier of the two waves on Thursday. And Scotty Scheffler went off in that wave and still sucked it up. As you can tell, I'm not salty about Scotty Scheffler doing anything bad for us last week. It's okay. Moving back to the model, moving back to easy scoring conditions. I love the Gary Kigo call here. He thrives on these kind of venues. I'm not entirely sure I love the course fit. I'm not entirely sure I love what he's got up to in the year. It is what it is. We are checking boxes right now. We are not talking about golfers. Then, second box is the micro model. Over here in the micro model tab, I have got how this course will play. I have the par for every hole. I have the length for every hole. I have the average score on that hole. I have the driving distance on that hole. I have the fairway hit percentages. I have the green regulation rates for every specific hole. Then I take the metrics for each golfer and I plug them in using their green regulation rates, using their strokes gained off the tee, their fairway finding percentages, all of that stuff. And I average it out because I use the actual course that they're playing and how much they gain from each proximity bucket in green regulation rates, etc., etc. So if we take a look over here on the left-hand, on the right-hand side of the screen, you can filter in on the amount of shots that come from a certain proximity range. Scotty Scheffler's going to have himself 2 shots from 50 to 100. We're going to have 7 shots from 100 to 150. So let's just call it 9 shots from inside 150. So wedge play. Half of your shots on approach are going to be wedge plays. Then 4 more come from 150 to 200, and then there's 5 from 200 plus. So that continues to add up to 18, which is a good thing to see. The model's making sense. I've got Scotty Scheffler projected in normal conditions to shoot 67.7 every single time he plays on average. Obviously, you can't shoot 67.7. You can only shoot 67 or 68. So lots of green regulations, going to hit about 13 of them around here and hit 10 fairways projected. So we can use that for our prop situation and we can see how all the things work out for us. So Scotty Scheffler obviously checks a lot of the boxes here. Number 1 in the model. If he wasn't, you're not building models correctly. The guy's most well-rounded individual you could ever find on a golf course. Those are our boxes. So we're going to check the micro model maniac rankings. They are over here in the orange box. Scotty Scheffler, number 1. Rory McIlroy, number 2. Tommy Fleetwood, number 3. Victor Hovland, number 4. Russell Henley, number 5. JJ Spahn, Xander, Justin Rose, Jake Knapp, and Sepp Straka, 9 and 10 over there for us. So we'll chat about a couple of these guys as we go through today's bets and models, but we're still checking some more boxes. So those are your guys that really check this course specifically. Good course fit. That's what the micro model does. Course fit. Got course history, which we'll get to in 2 boxes time. But first, we've got to check out who has been playing well over the last little while. So let's take a look at strokes gained the last 12 months, the last 8 months, the last 4 months, and then in 2026. The prorated column over here, column BC, before Christ, is using all the total rounds. So, for instance, Jordan Spieth has only played 6 rounds of golf before showing up to his first signature event. He said he's going to play a lot of golf before Pebble. Did not. Anyway, so prorated, Jordan's only going to have 6 rounds of golf to add to the 2026 stats. He's going to have a lot more weighted in 4 months, 8 months, and obviously a lot more in 12. So the 12 takes the majority of the weighting, but then it kind of trickles it down, 8, 4, and then this year, to kind of just get a good feel for who's improving, who's doing their thing. If you really want to overreact, you can hit the raw average over here, which takes into account guys that have obviously played really well in 2026. You don't want it's taking 25% of that and using it, so it's 1/4 of the total weightings is coming from a potential 12-round sample size, a 10-round sample size. It doesn't help long-term, in my opinion, but I think it can help you see who's showing up early in the season. Once we move on into like June and major season, we're going to have a lot more data from this year. So 2026 won't be 2026. That'll be the last 4 months. Then we'll have the last 2 months of data. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we're rolling and rocking it here. We're going to go prorated. Siwoo checks those boxes for us. And as you can see, Siwoo is one of those guys who checks those boxes. He's 6th. Tommy Fleetwood, 5th. Rory McIlroy, 4th. Jake Knapp, 3rd. Russell Henley, 2nd. And Scotty Scheffler, 1st when it comes to just playing good golf over the last 12 months and in 2026. So those guys, check your boxes. We've got some Justin Rose, Hideki Matsuyama, Ben Griffin, Chris Gotterup, elsewhere gaining 1.8 strokes raw this year, all gaining over 1.6 pro-rated. Pro-rated. You can tell I'm an accountant, huh? By the way, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Would really appreciate you guys doing that so I can stop being an accountant, because being an accountant sucks. I like being the model maniac. Can't wear a wig and funny glasses when I go to the office. So I just sit you at home wearing this when I'm crunching the numbers. Just kidding. I don't do that. Anyway, boxes next. Course history. We have got 2 golf courses that we will be playing this week. So I've taken course history, 75% of strokes gained on Pebble Beach and 25% gained on Spyglass Hill. We're going to take a look at first round leaders once they open up those markets for us later this afternoon. Jump into the Model Maniac Discord. We'll be dropping those in there as we always do. So best finishes at this golf course in the last couple of whiles, last 5 years. We have got 5 winners of this event in the field. Rory, Rosie, Berger, Wyndham Clark, and Tom Hoge, the Pebble Princes of the course history world. So we've got those guys rocking and rolling there. If we filter by the best finishing positions at this venue and then scroll over to the course history over here, we have got strokes gained at Pebble, Wyndham Clark, minimal amount of golf over here. So this is all coming from the course strokes gained tab, where you can find every single golfer that's played every single round on every single course this week. I've even got the Monterey Peninsula Country Club, which makes me really hungry thinking about Subway, but they will not be playing that this week. So maybe there's been a couple guys with good course history like Kurt Kitayama, where he's gained 6 strokes and 2 strokes on the Monterey Peninsula course, but none of his strokes gained for the other courses are ahead of that. So other names are Lucas Glover and Harry Hall. They've had some good success at that venue. Justin Rose shows up next as the 4th best Monterey Peninsula guy, but I'm assuming we can find Justin Rose over here at Pebble Beach crushing as well. He's actually better on Spyglass than he is Pebble, and he's better on Pebble than he is Monterey. So that makes a lot of sense for why we'll probably be talking about Justin Rose a little bit later. So you can see all of that in the specific tabs. But if you want to just drill down to some averages, we've got Pebble over here, and you can see Wyndham hasn't got a big sample size. Tom Hoge leads the field in strokes gained. So let's actually just filter by course history itself. Tom Hoge gains over 2 strokes at this golf course, no matter where he's playing, Pebble or Spyglass. Actually, he gains 1.3 strokes at Spyglass. So it's good to know that he plays the best golf at Pebble, where they'll be playing most of the golf. Jason Day gains 1.5 strokes. Taylor Pendrith has actually played quite nicely around here. Patrick Cantley and Justin Rose round out your top 5. Top 10, Daniel Berger, Mav McNeely, Denny McCarthy, Siwoo Kim, and the world number 1, Scotty Scheffler. Hasn't necessarily played the greatest golf around here, has he? Considering he is the best golfer in the world. Yet to do good things over here. In fact, he hasn't had a top 5 at this golf course. It's a 9th place finish last year and a 6th the year before. Now, coming into last year, obviously he had the hand injury. I believe this was his first event back. He's a new man. He can putt now. So that's going to be a fun situation to unearth, because he moves the earth when he plays, and he moves it hard. Moves it really, really hard. So we're going to take a peek at what's cooking for the other boxes. Course history, we've taken care of that. Now we're going to take a look at who actually just plays good golf, because there are some stat darlings that don't find themselves inside the top 20, inside the top 10 or the top 5 at all, but they gain tons of strokes. That's helpful if you're betting top 30s, top 40s. You know, we'll find those leverage situations quite easily. But there are guys that tend to struggle getting inside the top 10, top 15, top 20, you know, that kind of stuff. So this kind of highlights who those guys are. We're adding the total win percentages, the top 5 percentages, top 10, top 20, top 30, top 40, and made cuts, all to get this going over here. And we got Scotty Scheffler, who adds up to 578%, which is absurd. Rory McIlroy next, Russell Henley, Tommy Fleetwood, Sepp Straka showing up hard with our 80% made cut rate, 20% miscut rate, which is pretty significant given the company he's keeping at the top of the leaderboard, yeah, with the total win percentages. Bobby Mack, Hideki Matsuyama, Ben Griffin, Xander Schauffele showing up as well. Xander doing a lot of heavy lifting with the made cuts and the top 30 rates, sitting in the 72% situations, but he drops all the way down to 22% for a top 10. So he's only doing that 1 every 5 times, when Scotty Scheffler's doing it 8.5 times out of 10. Rory's doing it half the time. Russell Henley's doing it half the time, you know, all of those kind of situations. So the upside for Xander has been problematic the last little while, and Marco Pench can go just whatever, you know. I've been all in on this man. He's missed 2 cuts in a row to begin the year, and he's sick, and he's playing with PXG golf clubs, and I'm bitching about people that aren't even part of what I'm going to be speaking about this week. But you can see these names on the board. And finally, we're going to be looking at model rankings. Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Russell Henley, Tommy Fleetwood, Justin Rose are your top 5 in the Model Maniac rankings. JJ Spahn is 7th with Jake Knapp 6th. Hideki Matsuyama, Robert McIntyre, and Victor Hovland round out your top 10. So Ben Griffin, Siwoo Kim sitting on the outside, and Xander is only 13th in this model. So there's not much to kind of be thrilled about with Xander, but you never know what he gets up to at this golf course. So those are situations. That's what gets up. This is how we rock and roll. This is the model. Use code PEBBLE26 to get 50% off your first month over there for us. Let's chat about some bets. I have them for you. We're going to rock and roll. It's a good time. Let's go. The first bet we have is a Justin Rose win, 28-1. Let's party. Justin Rose, as you can see, won this thing in 2023, 11th in 2024, 3rd in 2025. He's been sensational. You can use the Model Maniac betting tool to see who has been the best bets at this golf course, at this event since 2020. Betting to win $100 every single time they play. Jason Day has returned $300 in the last 5 years. He's only missed the top 20 once, so we'll be probably playing a Jason Day top 20 for sure. Same thing with Patrick Cantley, Tom Hoge, Jason Day top 10 shows up quickly as well. He's only missed that twice of the last 5 times. So he's really, really impressive around Pebble. We'll see what happens this week. He's got off to a pretty decent start, but can't continue the momentum every time he begins a round. So we'll see what Jason Day gets up to, but we are talking about Justin Rose, friends. He just won at the Farmers, and he did so gaining an immense amount of strokes on approach. So maybe the miscut at the Amex kind of got him rocking and rolling, woke him up a little bit, got the old man to fire out there. He went and dominated. You never know what you're going to be getting from this guy, but we're going to a golf course that he's obviously got fantastic course history at. Great form entering the week. As Kenny and I were chatting about on the Fantasy Golf Degenerates show, which is also on the Mayo Media Network. If you aren't familiar with that, I don't know why you're on this channel or watching me right now, because you should know that we also do that show. So that's also on Mayo Media. Check it out after this. But Rosie, great course history, great form. Medium scoring conditions tend to be his best situation. How he grades out in the micro model is 8th in this field. Gets a lot done with the putting, gets a lot done on approach. You know, kind of also pretty solid off the tee. It's the around the green game that typically nails him here. But the easier the conditions, the less chipping you have to do, because the more green regulations you're going to be hitting. And the weather looks very placid, very calm for the first 3 days. Sunday looks funny. We don't know what's going to happen on Sunday. We'll see. But Justin Rose is very, very good in those conditions. As you can see, he's kind of rounding into some solid form here, just kind of increasing his strokes gain from the last 12 to the last 8 to the last 4 to the last 25. You know, like, that's good to see. The form's trending hard. Obviously, as a winner, that should be happening too. But we'll digress. So Justin Rose does fantastic work pretty much everywhere across the board here. He's fantastic on Spyglass. He's fantastic on Pebble, blah. We are looking at some serious situations where in round 1, Justin Rose does his best work, and then on Sunday, he does his best work too. That doesn't make any difference to us. By the way, he has a round 1 showdown stuff that we'll be doing in the Model Maniac Discord later this evening and tomorrow, once we know who's playing what courses. Next up, next bet. Let's take a quick sip here. I've been feisty. Been feisty to start this show. Do I like this more as a signature event or a pro-am? Chat can chime in too, please. I like the signatures over Larry the Cable Guy. Yes. In my opinion, I prefer to just watch good golf. I'm not necessarily that thrilled about Bill Murray constantly seeking attention. You know, I'm the guy that seeks attention. I hate people that also seek attention too. So watching those kind of things, it's not my thing. The attention that Scotty Scheffler demands and the boys are playing, that's a different situation. So I'm really, really looking forward to the weekend when they don't have the pro-ams. They have the first 2 days pro-am, and then it's behind them after that. So Scotty Scheffler just won the Amex, which was a 3-day pro-am as well. Next bet for us, friends. By the way, we'll be doing a giveaway here at halftime. We'll be doing our next bet now, though. So we're going to rock and roll with a 30-1 Russell Henley. 3rd in the model. He's 30-1. I don't understand how that even makes sense. If we take a look at the odds betting board over here on DraftKings, Scotty's first, Rory, Xander, 25-1. Xander Schauffele. Siwoo Kim, 25-1. Cameron Young, 27. Victor, 27. Tommy Fleetwood, 28. Rosie, 28. Mav, 29. Got her up 30. Russell Henley, 30. People, the Sex Panther, we say that because 60% of the time he's inside the top 20 all the time. He's actually played so well, we can almost upgrade that to top 10. Russell Henley's inside the top 10 52% of the time. He's inside the top 20 71% of the time. He is so damn good. And people do not give him the credit for it. He finished 5th year last year. He's actually very impressive on POA. I think he's top 12 or top 15 or top 7 in this field, putting on POA. In fact, I actually even have a little, this is what you get in the Model Maniac Patreon, by the way. Here is my little write-up on Russell Henley's situation. He has his micro model. You can see all of the stuff he's doing. The putter is going to be the problem for him. 42nd in strokes gained putting, but POA, a little better to Russell Henley. So we've got some good form, an 8th at the Amex, a 19th at the Sony. The course history, we've got the 5th place finisher, 5th in the micro model, 3rd overall in the model rankings, and the Maniac Manifest signs off on this man. Lots of stars over here. He's underrated. 30-1. There's multiple people ahead of him on the odds board that I do not agree with. So we're getting some good value. And as a result, we're going to be going to Russell Henley in the ladder markets. Bust out the DeWalt's, bust out the ladders. We're going to Home Depot with Russell Henley this week. Once I find the bet that I actually made on this man, we're going to chat about his top 5 at plus 475. Ties paid in full. Finishes inside the top 5, 1 in every 4 starts. Hello, what are we doing? Top 10, plus 215. Ties paid in full. He finishes inside the top 10 half the time. That's plus 100 odds. Let that sink in. We're getting 2-1 odds when he should be 1-1, given his track record. These are all finishes in majors and signature events, so it's not skewed by normie events or anything like that. He's fantastic in this market. Then we're getting even money at minus 112 on DraftKings for ties paid in full for a top 20. He does that 71% of the time. Ties paid in full, minus 112. Let's go. You have to go back to, I believe it's the PGA Championship with Russell Henley, where you find his first non-top 20. Yeah, he missed the cut at the PGA Championship. He's just rattled off 1 million top 20s since then, 10 in a row. The Tour Championship, I'm not even too worried about because that was a second place finish. He gained the most strokes he gained out of all of these events, apart from the Travelers, where he should have almost won that tournament. We were on him there. So we are laddering this man to win 30-1. Top 5, 475. Top 10, plus 215. Top 20, minus 112. All the 4 placement markets for us. If you want to take a look at what he gets up to in the betting tool, we can take a look at Russell Henley's last couple. Ooh, we are. Bet details. That's the one we want. We're going to go find ourselves some Russell Henley over here. Take a look at his overall results. By the way, this is also in the Model Maniac tool. You can find all of these things over there as well as a little summary. But over here, you can drill down in the research tool we have available to Model Maniac subs. So in the last couple years at this event, top 10 has cashed for Russell. Obviously, he's only done 1 of 2. So let's get out of there and let's just get into 2025 and 2026. What has Russell Henley done for us this last couple 13 months? He's profitable. He's gained us $220 in the top 10 market. He's made us $605 in the top 20 market. You know, like take a look at all these top, like I was saying here. Oh, there's a Pro Core Championship that's missing, which is interesting. Why is that not counting? Anyway, we'll figure that out. It should be counting. He made the top 20. There's a T19. Interesting situation there with this calculations. I'll figure that out later. But as you can see, sensational stuff from the Hen Dog. Russ the Bus. Let's climb on it. Let's go. We're going all the way to Pebble Beach with the win for Russell Henley. Let's get it, baby. So as you can see here, I've hidden it actually for you. If you want, you can. We'll actually just do a quick giveaway. Who, outside of Scotty Scheffler, is the most profitable golfer in this field? Across the board, win, top 5, top 10, top 20. Let me know. I'll get you a free month in the Model Maniac Patreon. Okay? Hit me up. I'm filtering on it right now. Not Scotty Scheffler, obviously. He would be the best guy to bet on over the last little while. We're going to leave him alone. It is not Patrick Cantley. Go Waffles. Not Patrick Cantley. In fact, I don't even see Patrick Cantley on my screen when I'm looking at the top results for returns. In the last 13 months, in the last 12 months, yes. So we're looking for a nice, decent sample size. JD says Xander, which is hilarious because Xander is probably going to be one of the worst metrics. And if I actually filter by the worst, Xander Schauffele is the fourth worst. Some names that are not. They're the worst. Colin Morikawa, Ludwig, Hideki, Xander, and Rory, and Patrick Cantley. All the guys you're naming here, people, are no good in the betting markets. The value that they provide from the odds to results is losing you money over the last 12 months. So that's a tough situation. We've got someone saying Ben Griffin. No. It's not Ben Griffin. It's not Justin Rose, although Justin Rose will be, if no one gets it soon, he's the fourth best option. It's Scotty, two other guys, then Rosie. Tommy Fleetwood is not one of them. Price too much. He's way, way, way overvalued. You know, those wins are going to cost you money all the time. Wasn't sure if it was last year or not. Yeah, definitely not Xander for last 12. No. Xander in the top 20 market in his career. But not really. All right. Chris Gotterup, JD. Nope, not happening. Next coming up is Blake Morris saying Russell Henley as our next guy. So, you know what? Since no one's going to guess Garrick Higo, here is Russell Henley for you. Congratulations, Blake. Hit me up on Twitter or just jump into the Model Maniac Discord. The link in the description below for if you've won the contest for who's going to finish DFL. For those of you watching post-live show, hit me up in the comments. Let me know who's going to finish last. If you guess it correctly, I will get you into the Model Maniac Patreon for a free month over there. We need that engagement over on Mayo Media Network. I would love that from you. So congratulations, Blake. Sorry, Kyla, you just got pipped at the last second there. But Blake Morris, 91, shout out. Same birthday year as me. Let's go. Garrick Higo has been incredibly profitable last year. He rattled off 1 million top fives, 23% of the time, finishing top 5 last year. So very impressive. He's struggled a little bit to begin the year. No good. Miscut farmers, miscut waste management. Maybe a little easier here. Maybe he didn't look remotely close to playing good golf at the waste management either. So we'll leave him alone. But he is the most profitable outside of Scotty Scheffler. And then it's Russell Henley, who actually loses money for you in the top 5 market, but has been obviously amazing in the top 20. And in fact, if I think we get that actual Procore Championship to be fixed, it's a $250 switch, and then you'll jump Garrick Higo anyway. So he might be actually the true number 2 in this situation. So congratulations to Blake. We're going to rock and roll, get you into the Model Maniac Patreon. We are doing a lot of good stuff over here. Spoke about Russell Henley. We'll continue talking about him here as we rock and roll. We've bet the ladder. It's all the way to the top for us. Let's send it home, baby. So we're doing all of this betting at DraftKings. A couple seconds from them as we join them for the rest and the half of the show. There's no better way to get closer to the action than with DraftKings Daily Fantasy. Right now, our partners at DraftKings are giving new customers a shot to play free for their share of millions in prizes with their first deposit on the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app. Simply download the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app and enter promo code FGD during sign-up to play free for your share of millions with your first deposit. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. 18 plus in most states. Restrictions apply. Terms, DraftKings.com. Minimum $5 deposit required. One single use, $3 ticket rewarded that expires in 14 days. Ends March 25th. See terms at DraftKings.com/promotions. Sponsored by DK. Boom. Shout out to DraftKings for sponsoring the show. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening to all of that. Use code FGD when you guys are signing up. We'd really appreciate that from all of you. Beautiful stuff. So Russell Henley, we laddering him, baby. Let's climb to the top with him. Next bet for us and our final outright for the card. We might add a couple. We will definitely add a couple, weather permitting and weather pending. More so than permitting, pending, and kind of find an angle there to add a couple live guys. But we've got Russell Henley at 30, Justin Rose at 28, and then we got Tom Hoge, the Pebble Prince at plus 270 to win the tournament. By the way, we are betting to win 10 units on Rosie and Henley. We are betting to win 27 units. We're betting 1/10 of a unit on Tom Hoge at 270 to 1 to win the tournament. If we go and take a look at best finishes at this golf course, let's go ahead here and filter it so we can just find Tom Hoge really easily. He is going to be a past winner. As you can see here, in the last 5 years, he's finished 12th, 1st, 48th, 6th, and 17th last year. So he's really kind of loving this golf course. He did not play good golf last year at all. And it may have been towards the middle of the year, towards the end of the year, that the bad golf really came across. But to still see the 17th place there is impressive. The 6th place in 2024, also very, very nice. So what we really like about Tom Hoge, we're going to dive into the micro model here for him and take a look and see. I want to make sure that the strokes gained are in there for us. There we go. Okay. So we're going to find Tom Hoge. Let's pull his ass up here. Tom Hoge, 270 to 1. We're also going to be betting Tom Hoge to top 5 at 29 to 1, 11 to 1 for a top 10. And then I'm also going to find the top 20 market for you real quick. Let's just go there and do that. I'm not even going to do giving away one of our favorite plays as well. Tom Hoge plus 405 for a top 20. Going to be betting that as well. Must add that to the card. It just came out. So we're going to do the ladder on Henley and a ladder on Tom Hoge. Taking a look at Tom Hoge's profile, he grades out as the 66th best option in an 80-man field. That's like basically the 15th worst option, you know? But that's how you spin a guy you're betting outright. You're telling me he's 66th best, which is not ideal from a long-term perspective because this data uses the last 12, 8, 4, and 2026 strokes gained to determine their metrics. It's also using strokes gained approach for the last 12 months. So if you've been playing badly, you're going to be struggling around here. But as you can see, Tom Hoge gains a third of a stroke on approach from 100 to 150. We can expect this week. It's one of the better ranges for him. He doesn't really gain that much from 150 to 200 at all, which he'll have 4 approaches from that range on average at this golf course. So the majority of his scoring is going to come from 100 to 150. If you think about when he won, I think at Pebble 4 years ago or whatever, he on 16 just hit it to 2 feet with the wedge for birdie or par, whatever the hell it was. He just stiff wedge, boom, Bob's your uncle. Tom Hoge is doing his thing. So got an 8th place finish at the Amex as well, which is also something I'm kind of looking forward to. Some good form. You know, I'm not going to be too worried about Tom Hoge at the Farmers. That's a lot of long iron play. The waste management as well requires a bit more 150 and out type situations. At this golf course, you're going to be getting a lot more wedges, which Tom Hoge thrives at. So we're going to look at Tom Hoge. It's more of a maniac play. We've got some good recent form from the Hogester. It's delightful. You know, the course history is scintillating. It's one of the best in the field. So we've got a lot to like from Tom Hoge, especially on a Saturday. Seems like it's the only time he gained strokes over the last couple of months. So obviously, new year, new Tom. Let's see what he can do. Tom Hoge, 270 to 1 to win, 29 to 1 for a top 5. These are all ties paid in full. And we're betting 1/10 of a unit on every single one of these bets. 11 to 1 for a top 5. And sorry, the top 5 is for to win 3.3 units. And then the top 20 we're going to be rocking and rolling with as well, plus 405. So ties paid in full for all of those. Let's get it. Tom Hoge on the betting card. Boom chakalaka, Bob's your uncle. Some other names that we're going to find. As you can see here, we filtered on the best finishes at this golf course over the last little while. Here's Patrick Cantley. He checks 3 boxes of the 6 this week. He finds himself sitting inside the top 20 50% of the time. He finds himself sitting inside the top 20 3 out of the last 4 times he's played this golf course. He finished 33rd year last year, not the greatest, but at the Pro-Am at the American Express, he finished 13th this year in a much bigger field. So that's good to see, and it's also a golf course he's typically had good results at. So he's had good results at this course too. He is fantastic when it comes to top 20 rates. He's also pretty solid when it comes to the top 5, but we're going to kind of dial in on the top 20 over here. 50% of the time it happens there. He's done it 75% of the time in the last 4 appearances at Pebble. So Patrick Cantley finds himself at plus 110. More than even money at DraftKings. Tyres paid in full to finish inside the top 20. Done it 3 of the last 4 times. Playing some decent golf this year. When it comes to model ranking, he's 16th in the model, so we like that. Always good to have your model ranking be inside the top 20 if you are betting a top 20 bet on somebody. If you take a look at his scoring conditions, Patrick Cantley gains over a stroke more. He gains a stroke more on easy and medium scoring conditions than he does hellish and hard. Gains 1.5 strokes on average on easy and medium, and he gains half a stroke on hard and hellish. It's a full shot difference. That's 4 more strokes you can add over a period of a tournament. So that's important. He hits a lot of greening regulations here, and this putting is for all the different surfaces. So adding power putting to this is something I'm going to do soon. But know that Patrick Cantley is in the top 3rd of the field in power putting too. So not too bad on the power surfaces. It's obviously reflected in his results over the last little while. So let's freaking go. You on the Swamp Ass win with Tom Hoge? Well, that was Lucas Glover at the FedEx St. Jude, I believe. So how much is your unit? I'm trying to get better at betting. Eggo waffles, I'm not even going to tell you what my unit is. Oh, well, it's $30, but $30 for me. But for you, it needs to be what you can lose 99 times in a row. Last week, we had 16 units in play throughout the week. Obviously, a couple were more, like single days and you win your money back and whatever. But over the course of last week, we had 16 units. You can go over here. You can check my bet tracker. I've got all my bets for you guys. I've got all of that stuff. You can go all the way down to the bottom here. You can see what all the bets have been and all the different units. So let's, Jesus, here we go. Okay, so these were our waste management bets. So for me, I'm a volume betting guy, and as a result, my units are small. $30 is, if you're putting 10 units in play, that's $300. It's, for me, it's a decent amount of money. So I don't want to be losing more than that more often. Also, it would be nice to win more than that too. But you need to make sure that you are betting what you can afford to lose a lot of so that you can survive the downturns. Because if you're betting a lot of units like this, you can have 2 or 3 quick bad weeks down 20 units somehow. You can easily bounce back because we bet to win 10 units. For outrights, we bet 10 units, bet to win 10 units. For second round, third round leaders, we bet quite aggressively in those markets. So we can fluctuate. We lost 6.8 units last week, So if you can't afford to lose 7 times 30, your unit size is too big. If you can, and you're thinking that's chump change, ramp your unit size up, but make sure that you can afford to lose at least 50 units. Because God forbid you lose 50. It happened last year to us. We got off to a really bad start, but clawed our way back. Thanks to Cristobal Del Solar and a couple good finishes down the stretch. But if we didn't have the bankroll to survive that downturn, we would never have returned because we would have bet less, not made as much back, and then you're messing yourself up. So you've got to stick with the same units for most of the year. If you're making money, you can increase units proportionally as you're making more money, but not overly. That kind of situation. So just figured I'd share that with you. I hope that answers your question. Patrick Cantley, top 20, plus 110. Let's get it together. Let's party. Let's go. Patrick Cantley, my man. $8,900 as well. Not a terrible price. We'll get to him shortly. He's been pretty consistent as well. This year, 1.3 strokes. Last 8, 1.3. Last 12, 1.5. So he's just very down the middle kind of guy. Lots to like. What else have we got here? We've got a Jake Knapp bet for you. Model ranking. How do you find Jake Knapp in the Model Maniac rankings? He's 6th in the Model Maniac rankings. We love what Jake Knapp can get up to. Off the tee, number 5 in the field. Kenny mentioned on the show, it was Rory and Wyndham that won the last 2 pebbles since it's gone to signature events. 2 very long hitters of the golf ball. Also 2 guys that can putt very well. Jake Knapp, top 10. He was the guy that was top 7. I think Patrick Cantley was Russell Henley was top 12. Jake Knapp is top 7 in putting on POA over the last 24 rounds. He gained over 1.5 strokes per round at Torrey Pines on true POA. There's POA Overseed, which includes bent. There's POA Trivialis, which also is not true POA. True POA is what you find at Torrey. It's what you find on Torrey South. I think Bentgrass is on Torrey North, but we don't even get strokes gained for that anyway. True POA, Pebble as well. So I think Riviera Country Club, which I'll be playing next week, also POA. So those are the 3 courses that are in the beginning of the schedule that are true POA venues. There's others out there as well. I'm not going to get into all of that, but Jake Knapp, pretty solid putting in general, and also very good at putting on POA too. Over the last 4 months, he's gaining 2.6 strokes. So that's basically the same. He didn't play in the fall. So the last 4 and the last 2 2026 stats for Jake Knapp are the same, which is fine. We are looking at someone that's finding his groove. The last 12 months, he gained 1.2 strokes. The last 8 months, he gained 1.7. And the last 4, he's gained 2.6. He's been sensational this year. If we take a look at his finishes in the last couple, Jake Knapp has got an 11th at the Sony, a 5th at the Farmers, and an 8th at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. 3 consecutive top 11s for the man. He is very, very good form right now. Then we're going to take a look at what he got up to here last year, finished 33rd. I don't think he was playing the greatest golf at this time last year. Taking a look at Jake Knapp's form in 2025. Obviously right now playing, I mean, look at this run. It's been very impressive golf from him to end the season and begin the new one. Yeah, he wasn't nearly in as good a form entering the week. He'd missed the cut. He just finished 56th at the Century. Farmers, he finished 32nd, which is a golf course he's had sensational success at. So kind of found his groove a little later in the year. We are now finding 2026 being very impressive for him. Like that a lot from Jake Knapp alone. So we're going to go top 20 plus 114 at DraftKings, tires paid in full to win 1.14 units. Just bet 1 unit on that bad boy. And then we're going to win 1 unit in the top 10 market at plus 270. I gave this out as well on the Fantasy Golf Degenerates show for us as a maniac play, but the model checks out as well. You know, that makes too much sense for us to go there. Jake Knapp in the top 20 market has returned $140 for you. In the top 10 market, he's returned $94 over the last 12 months. So there's really not that much to disagree with here on Jake Knapp. He's very, very good at golf, and he's in great form. Putting on POA is his jam. So let's go. It is time for some nap time, baby. Jake Knapp, top 20. Jake Knapp, top 10. Let's get it. Thoughts on Thigala? Playing good right now, Joanne. We will get to Thigala. Make sure you remind me if I don't get back to this comment here shortly. We are wrapping up the betting portion. We'll get into some DFS deep dives. You guys can fire off names you want to look at. Go there with me. All right. One more bet for us, making sure we get everything for you. It's going to be a Siwoo Kim bet. And I don't have it in the Discord, so this is going to be announced on the show, and then I'm going to pub it in there after this. We're taking a look at the top 5, top 10, top 20 markets. These are without ties. It's just a good summary situation. Siwoo Kim, plus 225 to finish inside the top 20. I think it's plus 188, ties paid in full. So go grab that. If you want ties paid in full as well for a top 20 for Siwoo Kim, minus 128. It's a no-brainer in my opinion. If you take a look at what Siwoo Kim's been up to over the last little while, we can just sort by strokes gained over the last 2026, and he's going to pop up like third. Scotty Scheffler, Chris Gotterup, Siwoo Kim are the first 3 guys that show up in 2026 strokes gained. Pro-rated wise, Siwoo Kim, 0.2 strokes behind the raw strokes gained that he's done in 2026, remember? Because he had a really disappointing 2025, to be honest with you. There was not a lot of good stuff coming from Siwoo Kim. Top 5 rates was 14%. Like the majority of those are from the last 2 starts. The top 10 rate, 22%. A lot of those are from literally the last 3 starts he's had. If we take a look at what Siwoo Kim's been up to in 2025, it was rather disappointing. 2026, he's played 5 times across the world. His worst finish is in 11th. He's got 3 top 3s, 4 top 6s, and an 11th. You know, like, he is playing such good golf. Compare that to 2025. He ended off quite nicely. He finished 4th at the RSM, fifth at the BMW PGA Championship on the DP World Tour. But prior to that, prior to the playoffs, it was missed cuts and nothing but non-top fives. 1, 2 top tens before the playoff stretch. So Siwoo Kim found his groove towards the end of the year and has continued playing fantastic golf and even better golf. I don't trust him to win a golf tournament because he seems like he gets a little dejected, a little down. He doesn't believe that he can win a golf tournament when he's in the mix. But even when he was playing bad golf last year, he was still profitable over the last 12 months in the top 20 market. So that's nice to see. If you take a look at his last 25 starts, I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 top 20s, top 21s. I mean, why would you not bet the top 20 at even money? -1, -112, -130, including ties. Let's go. Betting to win 1 unit there. May even bet to win 2. I'm going to decide that after the show. But you know what? We're going to bet to win 2. It's an obvious play. He's got great course history here as well the last 2 years. Siwoo Kim. If you take a look at his finishes at Pebble in the 2 signature events when the fields were strong, 14th in 2024 and 12th in 2025. So you're getting a Siwoo Kim that's playing a lot better now, and he's got good course history, great course fit as well. What does he grade out here for us in the course fit market in the Model Maniac Patreon? 39th. But again, it's mainly got to do with the fact that he's been struggling over the last 12 months. You know, the last 4, much better, as you've seen with Siwoo Kim and his strokes gained. Didn't we just go over that right now? 2026, he's getting 2.7 strokes, and that's 16 rounds of golf. In fact, it's actually more. We've got 5 for 2026. So in the last 4 months, he's gained 2 strokes. He's just got much better. Obviously, with that kind of an end to a season, with that start of a season, it makes too much sense. So let's go. He's obviously much better on Pebble. He's actually lost strokes at Spyglass over the last 2 times he's played, I'd imagine. 2 times? 3 times. 9 missed the cut in 2021. So no missed cut here this week. 4 guaranteed rounds, 80 guys. It's the invitationals that have the missed cuts for the signature events. So the Arnold Palmer Invitational, the Genesis Invitational, and I think is there anything else that's out there? The invitationals. Who knows? We don't get the invites. So let's see what's cooking over there. Those are our bets. I'll try to recap it. 28-1 Justin Rose. 30-1 Russell Henley. We are betting the top 5, the top 10, the top 20 with Russell Henley as well at his respective odds. We are betting Tom Hoge, 270-1. Yes, Memorial Invitational. The Memorial, sorry. Thank you, JD. We are going Tom Hoge, 270-1. Top 5, top 10, top 20. Laddering that stuff. We are also going to be going to Jake Knapp in the top 10 market and the top 20 market. We are going to be going to Patrick Cantley at the top 20 market as well at +110. Siwoo Kim, top 20 market, 2 units. Send it. Let's go. And I have one more bonus bet for you guys. It's a Denny McCarthy first round leader. So let's pop over to the first round market over here. Round 1 power ratings based off of Pebble Beach only. This will be figured out once we get the actual tee times. I'll pop that in over here. Make sure that we have the correct strokes gained for the different courses, because someone like Billy Horschel has been much better on Pebble than he has on Spyglass. Someone like Jonathan Vegas been much better on Spyglass than he has Pebble. So those kind of situations, we'll kind of try to identify some leveraged positions based off the different courses that they are playing, because that's what we do here at the Model Maniac Patreon. Link in the description below. Use code PEBBLE26 to get yourself 50% off the first month. Would love to have you guys in there. We are going to go to the round 1 power ratings and find ourselves Denny McCarthy. He's $6,800. I'm assuming Showdown he'll be in that same range as well, maybe 7K, who knows. But when it comes to round 1 for Denny McCarthy, it's a full stroke better than any of the other rounds he has. Gains 1.7 strokes in round 1, 0.6 strokes in round 2, loses those 0.6 strokes in round 3, and then gains half a stroke back on Sundays in round 4. So Denny McCarthy absolutely going to be a menace in round 1. And the fact that he's a good on Pebble and Spyglass, gains 1.1 strokes on both courses, I'm in. Let's actually find Denny McCarthy. Let's filter on him here. So we can see what his different round by round stuff has been. We can see the spike performances for Denny over here, the best spike round on Pebble Beach. He's gained 2 strokes, which was that. Oh, we've got a whole bunch of stuff hidden here for the Monterey stuff that I was doing a while ago. Yeah, this is better. Zoomy. All right, so 2023 in the final round, he had that round. I don't know if you remember that. 7 strokes gained on Sunday. Charged up the leaderboard. Classic Denny McCarthy style. So maybe that's most of what's doing the damage for him is that 6.9 strokes. But also in 2024, in round 1, he gained 3 strokes, 2. So he's got some spike potential. Obviously, that 7 strokes, we went bananas. On Spyglass, he's got 2 rounds of the 5 that have gained over 4 strokes. 4 strokes and 4.2 strokes back in 23 and 2022. Been a little more stagnant the last couple of years, but he has, over the last year, been a lot better in the round-by-round splits. If we go over here and take a look at the OG tab, that's kind of pulling all the stuff in. We're just going to do this over here. You can see, okay, these are the raw strokes gained. These are the amount of times and the amount of rounds that include that round, that strokes gained situation. And then over here, it's weighted. So basically, if you have someone that doesn't have a lot of rounds, this is a signature event, so everyone has played good golf. But like, for instance, last week at the Waste Management, we had some newbies. If they don't have enough rounds, it's going to weigh it down based off of whatever the metrics I have in here. So you can find that all over here. Round by round stuff. Denny McCarthy pops up pretty quick. And you can see a lot of these guys, Colin Morikawa, losing half a stroke on a Saturday. Not good. Keith Mitchell, half a stroke on a Saturday. All of these guys, Akshay, Saturday slumps, weird stuff. They make the cut, they chill out. It's goofy stuff. So Denny McCarthy, fantastic in round 1. Fantastic spike performances on these various courses. He's 76-1, Denny McCarthy. So that's for both courses. All 80 guys playing. We'll find out at some point, probably right after the show, who is playing what courses. So we popped a little bit on there for him. We'll go back once the course-specific first-round leaders come out as well and go back in there again for that specific course too. 76 is just a really nice number in an 80-man field when I think he's a great round 1 guy with great course history. So that's basically going to be it for us on the betting front. Once we get a good feel for some more weather, we'll probably find out some tee time soon. We'll pop more first-round leaders in the Model Maniac Patreon. I'll also share my card for free. The Model Maniac betting Patreon is just to get the best numbers. It's to get all the write-ups. It's to get access to me to ask questions about bets you want to make. Whatever you're in the mood for, you can do, because we have got a variety of tiers out there. Not crying tears, tiers of content for you. Good tiers. Betting content, DFS and Showdown. We've got best ball, and we've got just the whole encompassing package as well. So go check it out. Link in the description below. Lots to like. There are names like Ben Griffin, Justin Rose, Denny, Cootie, Alex Noren that we're going to be taking a look at for potential first-round leaders and for round 1 showdown. We'll be dropping all of that in the Model Maniac Discord. So lots to like, lots to go over. Let's filter by DK price and do some DFS deep dives. We will be doing, obviously, DraftKings on week-long and showdown. I've also decided a lot more showdown stuff. I'm going to be doing daily showdown, investing as much in showdown as I do week-long, because I'm better at showdown than I am week-long. We just have better tools. I try harder at showdown, not because I'm trying harder than I am for week-long. Everyone's trying hard for week-long, but in showdown, there's less tools out there. There's less data, blah-de-blah-de-blah. If you're looking for one of the best showdown people in the content space, it is GSS, GS Luke DFS. Go check out his channel. What's up, my brother? You're really growing out the hair, eh? I know. And I'm moving to Miami soon, so I got the shades. We are rocking and rolling, baby. All righty. Let's hide these columns over here since we don't know who the hell's playing what course. Take a quick sip of some orange vanilla seltzer water. And get to it. I saw Joanne asking a question about Thigala. And Joanne, we've come from the land down under when it comes to Sahith Thigala. It doesn't check a single of the 6 boxes. It's a problem for him. He has been playing much better in 2026. He's healthy, it seems, and playing fantastic golf. What I think will really help you understand Sahith's situation is the micro model. When it comes to 150 to 100 yards, Sahith actually really struggles. He's very good from 200 plus when it comes to his baseline. In the five shots he'll have, he's projected, and he doesn't gain much, but he'll gain 0.07 strokes on the field total for those 5 shots. The 8 shots he'll have from 100 to 150, he's projected to lose 0.04 strokes. So there's a slight variation in different metrics for him. He's a much better long iron player. He pretty much loses strokes anytime inside of 200 yards. So just because he's playing good golf, he's played fantastic golf at the Waste Management. He's played fantastic golf at the Farmers. If we take a look at Sahith's course history here, he's typically lost strokes around Pebble. I'd imagine there's a bit more long irons around Spyglass. I don't know. I'm kind of assuming. I should be diving deeper into that. I will be doing that later for Showdown to make sure we have the right matchups, the right course fits for Spyglass for us using the micro model. I'll do another one of those. So Sahith, as you can see, playing a lot better at Spyglass than he has Pebble. And if you take a look at the course history, it's been 53rd, 20th, and a miscut. So nothing crazy to write home about. You know, back when he finished 20th here, that was when he was playing much better golf. Anything that happened in 2025, I don't really care about because Sahith was kind of a broken man during that time. So taking a look at his different splits across the different courses here, Spyglass Hill, back in 2022, gained 4 strokes. Hasn't really done much since. Pebble Beach hasn't gained more than 2.5 strokes. Most of his rounds, he's actually lost strokes. So he's only got 2 rounds, once a tournament where he gains strokes on Pebble. Not ideal either. But, you know, that's what you get for betting on Sahith and going to Sahith. So, Joanne, I'm out on Sahith, and that is the reason why. For that reason, I'm out. Akshay's putter was good at the Waste Management. Can he keep it going here? I don't think anybody knows, Chris. I don't think Akshay even knows. He's at the top over here, $7,300, 37th in the model. How does that grade out versus his actual price? We can see he has his DK ranking. He's 36th. His actual ranking for us is 37th, so spot on. No real edge there. You know, Alex Noren seems like a better option at $7,100. 12 spots difference in our model ranking versus Noren's DK price. Also, a round 1 juggernaut gains almost 2 strokes per round in round 1, which is something we got to take a peek at once those first round leader markets are available to us. So that's where we're going over there. Akshay Bhatia with the putter has been horrible. Horrible. Strokes gained putting 21st in the model. So mainly it's got to do with around the green play. But I believe over the last little while it's been actually pretty bad. Akshay's putter has left the building. A lot of that data is coming from earlier in the year when he was putting a lot better. So maybe he bounces back, maybe he doesn't, but it was good to see the Waste Management gain some strokes there. How's he typically done at this golf course with the putting over the last little while? Let's take a look at Pebble Beach and see. It will only be, all the strokes gain data will be just for Pebble. And he's putted quite nicely in the 2 years he has played. I mean, why not? Why not? Micro model rank of 13th. The ball striking is just so damn good. 8th on approach. And yeah, not going to hit a million fairways here, but Akshay also, you don't have to hit a million fairways here. They're pretty easy to hit in general. So an average of 60, you're hitting 2 of every 3 fairways around Pebble Beach. And the conditions are going to be calm for the first 2 days. So you should hit a lot more, probably in the 70s for driving accuracy for most of these guys. Sunday, it might be below that because the wind's going to pick up. So that's what's going on over there. If we filter on Akshay, we won't even have to go far. We can just click his name as it's Akshay. We saw the around the green plays being his biggest bugaboo. Typically struggles around the green. Putting it's fine. You know, long term, it's fine. Solid performance at the Waste Management is really going to help him with the putter. And he's 13th in the micro model ranking. So if you're in the mood for some Akshay, I'm not going to turn you away from him. His one box he did check was the micro model rank. So let's see what he can do. Again, the micro model doesn't necessarily weigh putting as much as it should because putting is very volatile, but it still rewards guys that are good putters anyway. Hashtag Alex Nairn. So, as you can see, but what? Why is that approach play is just, what is going on here? He's the only one that's got like a random, whatever. Moving along. Other questions in here. Love the show. Thank you, Cody. Any thoughts on Ryan Fox? Yeah, I've always got thoughts. Always got thoughts. Let's pull up Fox. What does the Fox say? It says, hard and hellish conditions. He gained some nice strokes there. Easy and medium, not so much. He's a good putter. That's good to see. Always want good putters around Pebble because you got to make those 10-footers. In the last couple starts for Old Foxy, his best finishes have been a 14th. That happened at the Australian Open. He is a New Zealander. So has probably played a lot of that kind of style golf. 27th at the Dubai Invitational, 45th at the Dubai Desert, and then finished 24th at the Waste Management last week. First tournament back, finding his groove, great putter, 30th in the Micro Model Maniac ranking over there. The Micro Model is a solid predictor of what we can expect from him. I don't think he's ever played Pebble before. Has not. So don't have any course history for the Fox. His only market is a ridiculous market. It's $177 return in the win market in the last 12 months. Because Fox has done what? He's won twice at that kind of situation. So he's someone that you definitely want to take a peek at in these betting markets. The RBC Canadian Open and the Myrtle One Flight. So a prolific winner, Ryan Fox is. Some solid finishes lately. Not necessarily doing anything that crazy, but loving life the way Old Foxy's getting his stuff done. When it comes to other metrics, he's just kind of sporadic, you know. Does his thing. Playing some good golf. Why not? What does his micro model say when it comes to wedge play? Is he a good wedge player or is he a good long iron player? Or is he neither? Yeah, he's a good wedge player. Love to see that. 36.36 gained from 100 to 150. The 7 shots he's going to have from that range projected. Obviously, these are like literally clumping in a 142 shot. You know, if he hits that 10 yards shorter, because the wind's blowing 2 miles per hour harder into him, it's going to be a 150 to 200 proximity bucket. So I'm still working on getting this even more granular, but it does do a good job of at least giving you a good feel of what's going on with these guys. So Foxy, great wedges. Lots of good wedge play. As you can see, gains like some 0.06 per wedge shot, which is nice to see. Gains 0.04 inside 100, and then he loses strokes between 150 and 200. So, you know, that's what you're going to be getting from Foxy, but it is what it is. The further away it gets, the worse it seems to be for him anyway. So, yeah, kind of like him a lot. Given the course fit, $6,400, not a terrible situation. Based off of our rankings, we got a 12-spot difference, you know, so there's value to be had. At $6,400, if you're playing a Scotty Scheffler, I don't know if I'm going to be doing that this week. But even if you're playing balanced, a $6,400 option gives you a lot more opportunity to go to other guys up top. So, Foxy, I like a lot, especially in round one. 1.4 strokes gain in round one, and then not more than 0.6 in the other 3. Round one, showdown, Ryan Fox. Let's go. All right. Moving along. Other stuff. 103. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Some other questions. For first round leaders and possibly showdown, any advantage for guys going off 1 or 10 on either course? Sure. Micro model time. JD. Just based off the average score, yeah. So 9 on Pebble. I can't give you Spyglass right now. I don't have that data. Pebble, though, on 9, it's a 494-yard par 4. We've got a 513-yard par 5, a 527-yard par 5. So not easy hole, and it is the most difficult on the course. So if you consider that, and then you consider it's an absolute yes for guys on Pebble going off of 10. Because on 18, I can zoom in a bit for us, yeah. Whoopsie. Let's get Fox a little. There we go. So why did I zoom in that much? Why do you always take it too far, Byron? All right. On 10, you're going to get to 18, and you're going to gain. The average score on 18 is you got a 20% chance of making a birdie there, basically. It plays 0.2 strokes under par, the par 5. Then you go to the first, which is a 381-yard par 4. It plays slightly under par by a fraction. But then you've got that second par 5. The second hole is a par 5 that plays 0.6 under par. So it's like more likely to make a birdie there than not. Or at least maybe there's some eagles causing some stuff. But you get what I'm saying. Lots of birdies flying around on the second. So you got 3 consecutive holes that are under par. Boom. Let's go. 8 and 9 and 10 are all playing over par. So the streak there is very unlikely, especially with 9 being the massive road bump there, pothole type situation. They do hit it the longest on that hole, driving-wise, 304. It's the only one on the course that averages over 300 yards, which is very interesting as well. But it's still the most difficult hole on the course for that. Other names. Loving Coco this week. Crazy. Thank God I know what that means. Corey Connors. Let's pull him up and see what's going on with the Coco Cabanas. Coco, Murra Coco, no good. Corey Connors Coco, 9th in green regulations, 15th on approach, 9th in driving accuracy, middle of the road when it comes to score to par and strokes gained. 34th in the micro model. Going over to Corey Connors, he's going to find himself 40th in the model rankings. He's going to find himself 45th in DK price. So there's a 5 position difference in rankings for us. So that's good to see. He's a nice value rating. If we actually go and filter by value rating over here, another cool part of this tool, we'll have to scroll down a little bit, but he is 40th in the model, so not going to give you the best value, but he's giving you some good value. Corey Connors is giving you the 37th best value because he's 40th in the model. That's obviously going to make that much sense. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. What is he? Pebble, he's lost strokes around Pebble historically. Played nicely on Spyglass. He's around 3 guys. The only round he gains over a stroke. He gains 1.4. Struggles on Sundays. Doesn't barely gain any strokes on a Sunday. No good. No good. No good. By the way, these are old showdown notes that don't apply to these names over here. They got different names elsewhere. But you know what I'm saying. All right. So Corey Connors, I'm struggling to kind of get behind that, my brother. You know, the top 5 rates, okay, solid stuff there. He's never been a good bet apart from the top 10s. Finishes inside the top 10 31% of the time. So it kind of pops up here and there every now and then, but we'll see. I don't know. $7,000, at 7K, this is the point of the show where I'm going to tell you I'll go with like Garrick Higo instead. Less safe, but like he's going to be less owned as well and can just go nuts. He's a great putter. Maybe he gets his shit together after a bad start to the year. He ended the year fantastically. So, but again, this range is barren. You know, we're scrolling here. We don't see any yellow boxes. In 6K range is barren. Got to get to $7,600 to find our first yellow box. Check it, which is 2 boxes of the 6, which is the top 15 in this field, which is, you know, the top echelon. What's that? The top 5th of the field. Pearson Coody is that first guy. Seb Straka is that guy. So other names that might not have checked more boxes, like an Alex Noren, in my opinion, might make a bit more sense than Corey Connors. A Matt McCarty might make a bit more sense than Corey Connors. Jacob Bridgman, slightly more sense than Corey Connors. So those are some names you can potentially pivot off of. I'm not like super thrilled about Corey. Sorry. Try to give you some love. I couldn't, Kevin. My bad. And he looks at highest owned one and done. Sure, let's take a look at the one and done tool. Maybe we can figure out who's going to be high owned off of this. If you take a look at the actual strokes gained at this golf course, typically that helps people navigate the one and done streets, since that is what we use as a main part of the modern model one and done rankings. If we go over to Pebble Beach, it's color. This doesn't even matter because this isn't even the tool that everyone's using. But we're going to go to Pebble Beach and filter by the best strokes gained at this golf course. This is for the last like 6 or 7 years. So a lot of sample size here. Jason Day, again, this is why Tom Hoge is, gaining his 2 strokes, but Jason Day has been fantastic around here. Daniel Berger, Phil Mickelson, obviously not playing this week. Let's get those guys out of here and chat about Patrick Cantley, which I don't think has got any upside, in my opinion. Nick Taylor has won this event before. He's a sneaky option. 17th in the model rankings for me. I think the best way, especially if you are in the Mayo one and done, you got to watch Pat tomorrow with Keith, where they'll be breaking down the one and done and giving their favorite plays. Typically, the plays that Pat mentions on that show get a bit more steam. Also, if you're taking just a look at the odds board, we're going to take a look here. Scotty's not. Maybe some people will use Scotty, trying to get cute. I'm not going to be using Scotty at Pebble, not on POA. I'm going to probably use Scotty at the Players. I'm going to be a square, and I'm just going to go to him at the Players. It's got the highest purse, and he's won that tournament twice. So you probably could do that again. Rory at Pebble might have some people clicking. Xander, I don't think anyone. Maybe Siwoo. Anyone that's got some Siwoo left over is something I've actually thought about. Because on the show with Kenny, I mentioned I want to go with Mav, which I have slated in here as a guy that I'm going to be looking at. I had him pegged ages ago for Pebble. I pretty much had my first couple starts figured out. And Mav is playing some good golf, but he can't finish on a Sunday. It seems to just fall out of the top 5. Hopefully he's like sitting 10th going into Sunday and climbs, or 5th or 6th or something. Get up the leaderboard on a Sunday, Mav. I need that from you, but I don't know if I can trust this. So, yes. What's up, my brother? Fantasy Football Garage is using another great YouTube channel to follow. NFL, PGA, the whole shebang, is using Siwoo Kim this week in one and done, which, given the form, given the course history, it's a safe play that's got pretty solid upside. Is Siwoo going to win, considering the stuff he's got up to the last little while? I don't know. But he's safe. And you're going to make a lot of money this week because there's not a lot of money to be made the first 4 weeks because they're not signature events. So that's the situation there. I don't know. I don't know. Rosie will be very popular. I agree. Justin Rose, this is his place. I want to save Rosie for the Open. Or the Masters. Or the PGA. I think a lot of people are going to be saving him for the PGA. I'm going to save him for the Open. I hope. We'll see. I might be getting cute there. Maybe you play him somewhere else before the Open. But I think I want to play Rose in a major. He's way more reliable upside-wise. 8 of his last 16. It's a crazy number. I'm actually going to pull it up real quick. Justin Rose in majors. It's like either he does or he doesn't. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of his last 14 majors have been a top 16. We've got a second, a 6th, a 9th, a 16th, a 16th, and a 13th in that stretch. The rest are like miscuts. So it's boom or bust for Rosie in majors, but that's the upside you're looking for from somebody that you're playing in one and done. I don't care if you're going to finish 40th or miss the cut. I don't care if you finish 20th or miss the cut. I need you to be second, or 6th in a major for me. And Rose has finished 6th or better in 3 of the last 4 majors. So 3 of the last 7 majors, sorry. Spreading fake news on you guys, yeah, but you get what I'm saying. Good stuff from Rosie. Going to be a very, very popular option. I think I'm going to save my Rose shares for later on in the week. The top of the board is interesting. I don't know how much I trust Rory. Played nicely at the Dubai Invitational. He's always played well there. I don't know how he did at Dubai Desert. He finished 33rd. Pebble is he won this thing last year, but he's not. The year before, he finished 66th. It really just depends how much putting he gets done this week. Because I think he played quite nice. He putted really well at Pebble, right? When he did some good stuff there. Rory gained 4 strokes putting at Pebble. Gained more strokes off the tee than he did putting, which is insane. Gained 6 strokes off the tee. He could do that again. He also could not. That was a very dominant driving performance from him. It was like well above everyone else. Taylor Pendrith was next, who did fantastic on the ball striking front. So maybe not. I'm liking starting with Justin Rose and Russell Henley at $94, $90, $200. Let's freaking go. I mean, those are 2 very nice value options. I've got them ranked 3rd and 5th in my model. I think I'm going to be heavy on both of them. Maybe sprinkle in. I have no idea what to do in the 10K range. I have no idea. I just think I'm going to just ditch it and go to the 9s and just play balanced out here and really try and dominate Scotty's, opportunity cost situation, given his $14,000 price tag. Rose, Russell Henley, even some Patrick Cantley, as your 3rd click, Rose, Russell, Cantley. He's not going to need to win for you. He's just going to do it for you top 10, top 5, whatever. Top 20 for sure, 50% of the time. But you get what I'm saying over there. Mav McNeely got some good upside. Hasn't had a top 10 this year, though, considering he's really been in the mix. It's been frustrating. What's Mav's round-by-round stuff look like? It gets better on Saturday and then kind of fizzles away. So more of a showdown option than anything. But he's still pretty solid. All right. Jake Knapp. Going to be a guy. Going to be very popular, I think. We'll chat about someone who's not going to be popular. It's going to be JJ Spahn. $7,800. I've got him ranked 7th in the model. Obviously, this is long-term data. And as a result, he's popping hard because 40th at the Sony wasn't good. Farmers, he missed the cut. And he's been playing like ass this whole year. He can't putt right now. He simply cannot make a putt to save his life. Even in the micro model, that's like how it goes. But everything else, tee to green, is just like really, really impressive. 14th off the tee, 4th on approach, 9th around the green, 57th in putting. Any week the putter flips, JJ Spahn is going to be a leverage position. Now, am I worried about the fact that he withdrew from the waste management? Yes, especially with how badly he's been playing. Maybe that helps. Maybe he needed to just take that time off to like recalibrate, fix whatever's going on. Maybe some family problems or something you need to take care of. Maybe it's an injury. The world of golf, we don't know this stuff. They keep us in the dark, But maybe Spahn can get the putter flipped around and off we go. Because Poetriv out at the US Open at Oakmont, at least some variation of Poa. It's not the same Poa they have on the West Coast because it's obviously East Coast. So whatever. But Spahn in easy and medium conditions, solid, especially in medium conditions, But between the two of them, solid stuff there. And then course history-wise, he has a 16th in 2022 and a middle of the place last year. Yeah, we're more banking on the course fit and the baseline metrics of this man. He checks 5 boxes, people. What box is he not checking? It's probably the course history part of it. So, yeah. 0.5 strokes gained here in the course history side. That's not going to be a 15th in the model, is it? Yeah, no. That's where he loses his box. Everything else he checks. Easy scoring conditions. Micro model ranking, course fit, strokes gained over the last year. This year, been bad this year. Last year, very good. Course history, mediocre. Total finishing position rates. I mean, if you take a look at the total finishing position rates, Spahn flies up the board here. He's obviously got a win. Finishes inside the top 5, 21% of the time. But 29% of the time is a top 10. So not nearly as consistent, throughout. When he pops hard. only 8% more top 10s than he has top 5s. It's almost simultaneous. When he finishes inside the top 10, he almost finishes inside the top 5 basically every single time. So that's what you're getting. Very reliable top 40 rates. Sub 50% for top 20. So you're getting a lot of upside with some risk. And that's what you're getting here. You're seeing miscuts and 40ths and 16ths and whatever. But I'm in. I'm in on this man. I think he's going to do good things for us. He's going to be low-owned. That's the whole point about DFS, is hopefully finding a low-owned option who resorts back to their baseline. Sepp Straka is another name that I'm going to fancy a lot at $7,700. That 7th place finish that he has here, he was in the final group. And I think he had to hack out of a bunker sideways twice. It was just a brutal final round for Sepp, who then later went on to win the Truest in that 2025 season. So this was also after he won the American Express. So like the man was on fuego. He just finished 18th last week at the Waste Management after missing the cut at the Amex, which was his defending champion. No good there, but good performance at the Waste Management, which I'm happy to see. If we take a quick peek at Sepp Straka, the micro model is going to love the approach play. He's 5th in the micro model for oopsie, whoa. 5th in the micro model. Which range is his best on approach? I'm typing in micro. We want Sepp Straka. He's so good across the board, but he's particularly very good from 100 to 150. Better from I don't know. Very good. Very good. 100 to 200, 200 out. He's just solid across the board. So we'll see what Sepp can get up to. Going to hit a lot of fairways here. Not necessarily the most accurate driver of the ball lately. But again, at this golf course, he's not going to be having to power it out there. The driving distance is 53rd in a field of 80. So I think this can kind of help him a little bit of a golf course. So going to dominate the par 4s. Par 3s and par 5s, he gains across the board. So a lot to like from Sepp Straka at $7,700. Could definitely be a top 20 bet. Now that I think about it. It's been a busy week for me, friends. Sorry. Pink eye with the baby, Mini Maniac. Mrs. Maniac's been sick, so she couldn't even look after Mini Maniac. So it's been me that's looking after her the whole time at home, and it's just haven't had a chance to get into it. So we've done as much as we could. I'm not going to give bets out that I haven't researched. You can check that out in the Model Maniac Discord. I'll be popping out my bets for free tomorrow night. And majority of them are on the show. So that's kind of how we're going here. I don't see anything else going on from the chat. Yeah, so PJ Comms haven't tweeted out the tee times yet, so we can't really do that. We'll figure it out. It is what it is. Thank you, friends, family, fans, for tuning in to the episode this week, episode 56, the Pebble Prince. Hopefully Tom Hoge can take care of business for us. That'd be a nice little 27-unit win. Get us out of that 6-unit hole we're in for 2026 after a bad Waste Management. We need a little bounce-back week this week. No Rasmus Niergaard Peterson to lose 3.5 units on, 4.5 units on the year with him. Haven't cashed a single bet. We've bet on that man. I'm way more bullish on him than I should be. Maybe I shouldn't be. I don't know. Either way, not our problem this week. That'll be our problem at the Cognizant. But that's 2 weeks' time. We got the Genesis next week. I'll have a guest on next week. I'm going to go every other, maybe more guests than me. Who knows? Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thank you so much for joining in. Check out the Model Maniac Patreon. Use code PEBBLE26 to get yourself 50% off the first month over there. Across the board. If you want to just pay $5 for the DFS Showdown stuff that I'm popping in there for the first month, go for it. $9.99 for all of those other things. And then the models and tools are $19.99. The whole package is $30, people. Just get the whole package. And get the annual subscription. Saves you 20% as well on top of everything. So lots to like. I appreciate you all. Are we getting walking bets with Mini Maniac when it warms up soon? It might be warm enough tomorrow. It may be. We'll get that pink eye winking at you guys. Make sure we find the right bet. Take it and leave it. Go hard. Happy Pebble Week, friends. We'll see you next week. Peace.